welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. Well, our first segment, we talked a bit about physical health. In this segment, we're going to talk about mental health. I'm here with Dr. James Polo. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now, okay, let's start off with the hard question. There appears to be still quite a bit of stigma when it comes to talking about mental health. What do you say to that?
Yeah. So first of all, stigma's been around for a long time. When it comes to our mental health, people sometimes feel afraid to talk about it. Either they feel defective or they're ashamed. So, what I tell folks is, first of all, remember you're not alone. Everybody struggles. It's so much more common than we realize. 1 in 4 adults is currently struggling with a mental health problem. And through our lifetimes, 50% of everybody will struggle at least once. So it's very common. So if you can get past that hurdle of just sharing with somebody that you're struggling, you're going to find out you're not alone. You're not alone. And just sharing with somebody that you're struggling helps begin the process of the road to recovery. And sometimes you need formal help.
Absolutely. And to that extent, do you have any tips about ways to find the help that you need? Sometimes that's also a hurdle. They don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't even know that what they're struggling with, okay? So first of all, if you're in an emergency or you're really at a point of crisis where you really don't know what to do and it's really, in the moment, then you can always call 988. Just like we call 911 for a medical emergency, you can call 988 for a mental health emergency. But if you don't need an immediate, help, then I recommend starting with your regular doctor. Your regular doctor knows you, and they're used to getting this question in terms of trying to help folks that are struggling with emotional problems. The connection between the mind and body is really strong. So it's about taking that first step and reaching out to somebody that you trust. And then it's about connecting with somebody that can actually help you with what you're struggling. And you have to be able to have a good relationship with that person to just talk with them about what's going on.
Now, do you have any tips about things that we should look for specifically when we're looking for a mental health provider?
Yes. So it's really important to make sure that you're going to go see somebody that does have the right, capabilities and training to help you with what you're struggling with. Okay. And you shouldn't be afraid to ask, somebody that you're seeing, hey, I'm struggling with depression. Is this something that you're able to help me with? Okay. But the most important thing is feeling that this is somebody that you're going to be able to open up with, talk with about, sensitive things that are important to you, and share what's going on. The more you share, the more likely you're going to get, help. And so it's really important to have a trusting relationship. And it's okay if you start off with somebody and feel like, I don't know if this is the right person for me. We don't seem to be clicking. It's okay to say, I think I need somebody else. So, but the most important step is just taking that first, courageous step of asking for help and going looking for it. That's half the battle.
It's so critically important that you mentioned the fact that sometimes you don't have that fit. Often when you don't have that initial fit, people just stop. They think, okay, well, that didn't work. That therapist wasn't for me. But you're saying that's fine. That's fine. It's perfectly fine to go and try to find someone else.
And sometimes you really need to connect with somebody that you think is going to understand you. So it's not a bad thing to say, I really want to talk to a female therapist, or I really want to talk to a male therapist. Hey, I want to talk to somebody that kind of maybe understands me, looks like me, feels like me. It's okay to have a choice. It's really important that you feel comfortable. It's about you, and so you want to make sure that the person that you're talking with is somebody that you feel comfortable really sharing those honest thoughts from inside. And in mental health, like any other specialty, there are people that sometimes focus on specific areas. So it's okay to ask, hey, what do you like to help people with? What's your area of expertise? I happen to be a child psychiatrist. I love seeing kids. I focus on kids that have mood instability disorders, but all counselors, all therapists have areas that they focus on, and it's okay to ask.
Oh, you know what? Thank you so much for coming on the show and giving this information. I think that sometimes that's just what we need to know. We need to know that it's okay, that, that first time wasn't great and we could go back and try again. You've given us great steps to take to ensure better mental health. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I'm passionate about helping people feel better. and you got to help yourself feel better emotionally if you're going to, negotiate today's world. It's very complicated out there.
Absolutely. All right, guys, it's very complicated out there, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to go through that alone. There are people who are ready and licensed and willing to help you navigate all the rough waters. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back with more.